This is a short video demonstrating some of the ways that you might like to use Google Keep to help with revision. First thing we're looking at is Google Docs to Keep. So here we have some notes from earlier in the year, but there's only one or two sections that I'm really interested in focusing on for my notes. So here's one. I can right click the highlighted text, save to keep, and I have my Keep notepad appear on the right hand side. Good news is it doesn't only work very well with text, it works brilliantly with pictures too. And similarly, I select the picture, right click and save to keep notepad. Once I've added the titles and I'm happy with the notes, I click done and they are now in my Google Keep. Next thing that we're going to look at is how we can add some extra organisational features to Google Keep. I would strongly recommend utilising both labels and colours. First we're looking at is labels. If I click on the three dots, I already have economics as a label, so I can then find add label and choose economics. Both of these notes are now categorised as economic notes. If I want to change the colour, I click on the colour palette, choose the colour, in this case green, and for consistency I'm applying that to this note also. I'm now going to demonstrate how we can use the browser-based version of Keep for revision notes. Just tap where it says take a note, give it a title, colour it appropriately and label it all as before. But this time I'm actually going to make the note tick boxes. So show tick boxes, clicking on the three dots. This means that as I am satisfied that I've finished the topic, I can then tick it off. One of the other great features of Google Keep is that not only do you have to work on the notes by yourself, you can also add collaborators. That's exactly what I'm going to do here. So I add collaborators by their email address. Once you're happy you've added all collaborators, you can just click save. Everyone can now add things to the list or even tick them off. So I've just tapped refresh and I can see that the note's been updated by the collaborator. They've added a third targeted area, in this case opportunity cost. When an item's been completed, you just put a tick into the box and it will go onto the completed item list. Adding items to the list, it's important to remember that any collaborator can tick things off this list also. Look at how we can work with web content in Keep. So I found a really good article here on perfect competition that I'd like to add to my economics notes. I highlight the text, click on the Save to Keep Chrome extension. Just like before, I can give it a title. I can add a label, my economics. And when I return to Keep, you'll see that that note is now saved there. I'll just colour code it appropriately. The next thing that we're going to look at is working with mobile and audio in Keep. On the screen at the moment, you can see my phone on the right hand side and Google Keep in the browser on the left. So I'm going to add content to my note, but this time when I click the plus, I'm going to choose recording, and this allows me to make an audio recording. So, very self-explanatory, it says say something, I would then say it, and you can see here, it's converted my speech into text. And it's also given me an audio file. I'm just going to repeat the same process a couple of times. You can see on the right hand side in the phone display that I have 3 audio files and 3 speech to text conversions. Going back to the browser, I can access the audio file, but when I actually click play on one of the files, brilliantly, it now also allows me to download the audio file. Should I wish to, I can now use the same audio file in another app or perhaps outside of Google Keep. Finally, we're going to look at how we can grab text using the camera from other sources, so books, magazines, etc. Got the display, same as before, phone on the right and Google Chrome on the left. So the first thing I need to do to initiate the process is to tap once on the camera icon on my phone in the bottom right hand corner. Then I'm going to choose Take Photo. Doing this uses the camera within Google Keep and I can now find the text that I'm looking for, in this case from a book. Once I'm happy with the text that's going to be captured by the camera, I can click on Take Photo and then on the check mark. That will then take that image and put it into Google Keep. I give it a title, some further information, in this case the book that it's from, and I can now on the left hand side, back to the browser, find the note and then grab image text. And what happens now is pretty incredible. Google Keep uses optical character recognition to convert the image into text. This is a really nice way of taking snippets from the curriculum and putting it all into one place, Google Keep. So that was revision tips with Google Keep. Please stay tuned as I'll be making more videos on how we can use G Suite for revision.